Joe Duttine reflects on leaving Coronation Street amid Tim murder fears. Tim Metcalf is a man in serious danger this coming week in Coronation Street as he goes up against Stephen Reed. After previously being suspicious of the businessman, Tim once again grows curious of Stephen when Brian mentions his interest in the canal dredging project. As Super Soap Week begins, Tim decides to head over to the canal. He grabs an old boat hook and pokes about in the water, only for a corpse's hand to float up to the surface. Tim makes it back to his cab and manages to call the police to report the dead body, but Stephen then jumps in the back and tries to strangle him with a tie. The taxi driver escapes, but he trips on his shoelaces and is then knocked unconscious by Stephen with a brick. Back in Weatherfield, as Sally wonders what Tim is up to, she remains unaware that he is actually trapped in the boot of his car, which is being doused in petrol. With Tim's fate up in the air, it isn't looking good for him, but could we really say goodbye to the beloved character and actor Joe Duttine? Coronation Street's been absolutely brilliant for me, and it's been an absolute joy to work on, Joe told us, reflecting on the prospect of leaving the show. So, if that's the way the character has to go, that's the way he has to go, and I'll just be grateful for the time I've spent here. Obviously, I'd be incredibly sad, but that's the nature of the show. I think they can expect a lot of suspense, some humor, a lot of character-based stuff, and a real feeling of an ensemble show with lots of twists and turns and characters in situations that they don't always find themselves in, he added, teasing what's ahead during Super Soap Week. I think he's, Tim, in a lot of danger. He's been hit over the head and who knows what's going to happen to him. He's definitely a fish out of water. Continuing the chat, Joe told us how pleased he is to be part of Stephen's downfall, and what it's been like to film the upcoming dramatic scenes. It's good to stretch the acting muscles a little bit and have the opportunity to get out and do stuff that's a challenge and flex your creative muscles a bit. I enjoyed it a lot. I've been wanting to catch a villain for a long time. Ever since Phelan, I wanted to get Phelan. I didn't want Phelan to get away with it because of the stuff that he was doing to Faye. So, finally, Tim got the chance to play his part in bringing the villain down. So yeah, I relish every moment. He's a really lovely bloke and we'll be sad to see him go, he added, discussing Todd Boyce's departure. I'm just glad that I got to be part of his story. A good ending for him, and I think he's had a ball, so win-win.
Xin chào các bạn đã quay trở lại OK Soát Spoiler. Vừa rồi các bạn đã theo dõi một sản phẩm của chúng tôi, OK Soát Spoiler, một kênh tin tức chuyên cung cấp cho các bạn những thông tin mới nhất về những bộ phim xà phòng của Vương quốc Anh.